Alright. Tim Stoked here, back with Alignment Influence. We do this shit for a living. Everything we do becomes our reality, okay? So we're out here on this beautiful fucking beach right now, in alignment, in absolutely unconditional fun.
Our chakras all aligned.
Chakras aligned.
Kundalini.
We ate some dank food.
We ain't fucking around over here.
Alright, so today we're gonna talk about the 5 steps of creation, okay? How do we actually create our own life? How do our own thoughts actually turn into things, right? That's the question here.
Like manifest it.
Yes.
You know, it manifests itself into reality.
Yes, manifest themselves into reality from a thought, right? Like what thoughts led us here and what thoughts are gonna lead us where we want to.
Think about it. Everything that you see right here, the lights, the cameras, at one point in time in history, that was just somebody's fucking idea.
Just a thought. We're all an extension of pure thought energy. What we're talking about today is step 1, right? So contrast, all the beauty of contrast, all types of different people, man, all types of different environments, you know what I mean? All different opinions. And we get to sort through it all and get to come to our own conclusions as creators. So we didn't really come into life, you know, to see it as is and, you know, live it by default. We came in to create our own life. So we come into contrast, you know what I mean? We come into this world of diversity, and from that we decide what we would rather have. So with that knowledge, we sort out and we ask for more, right? Exactly. So we've been asking for a lot of shit.
Yeah, our whole entire life.
Our whole entire life we've been asking for shit, and we're continuing to ask for shit. And right now we're actually making a lot of stuff happen due to our own asking. So the thing is too, about alignment, is that not only are you able to create the reality that you want to, but you're also influencing other people around you into alignment. So what that means is your vibe, your sort of vibration, your own energy transfers and is felt by other people. You know what I mean? Instead of the words and all the little things and details of life, people more so feel your energy. You know what I mean?
It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah, it's not what you do, it's how you feel. Yeah, so it really doesn't matter what you're doing. We could be at the beach, we could be in the office right now, we could be in the studio, we could be at the gym, but we know how to have unconditional fun. We know how to allow ourselves to be happy regardless of what's going on around us, right? Regardless of our age, regardless of your gender, regardless of your race or your location, you're able to have fun.
Penis size, you know.
Penis size, he's very particular about that one. Yeah, so regardless of what's going on around you, the conditions will change if you can discover unconditional happiness, right? So step 1 to finding that alignment is to look at contrast, right? And you've already done that. We're doing that right now, right? Look at all this contrast around us. You got the cold and the warm, the light and night, you know what I mean? Night and day type of thing. So the true beauty of creation is step 2 is already done for you. Like once you ask for something in life, source or the pure thought and pure energy inside of you answers that calling and is actually calling you towards it. So that's step 2. Step 2 is done already. Step 3 is what we're focusing on today, okay? And that's getting in the receptive mode, right? Getting into that frequency of our inner being that is allowing us to channel who we've become as a result of life, as a result of sorting through contrast, right, and defining what we'd rather have.
Yeah, and you gotta kind of like sit through the contrast of everything and like find what you like.
Yeah, everyone's different. But like, there's no one way to, you know, live and one preference, but everyone has their own inner being, and I believe that our emotions guide us towards that. You know what I'm saying? That's why we have emotional guidance in general, is because we're able to be guided towards
like a compass.
Yeah, it's like a compass. It's guiding you. If it feels good, it's in alignment to what your inner being is thinking. You know, if it feels bad, you're pinching off a little bit. But there's never a wrong. There's never like a you're off your path type of thing. There's no judgment in creation. You're only yourself defining what you'd rather have, and just in every moment being more and more clear with it, right? So step 3 is, of course, receptive mode. How do you know if you're there? Well, it feels like the fucking vortex, man. It feels like nothing could go wrong, you know what I'm saying? It feels like abundance. It feels like fun. It feels like freedom. And it just feels fun. Like, it feels silly, you know what I mean? Like we were kids.
Yeah, like, you're on that leading edge.
On the leading edge. Oh, careful. It's all good.
Limbo.
It's a limbo. And so once you're on the leading edge and you're right here, this is where all the fun stuff happens. Like, you don't want to wait till you die to have everything you've been asking for. You can have it all right now. And step 4 really is getting into that mode more often. You know what I mean? It's maintaining that alignment. You know, it's milking that vortex, talking about how good the air feels and how good the breeze feels and how nice it is to have a day off and how hard we work and, you know, how much abundance there is in life. I mean, did you know that every time you're feeling good in any way, you're really feeling abundance in a certain way? You know what I mean? You're allowing yourself to feel the abundance of life. So, you know, the dominant vibration in life, in this vibrational reality, really is wellness. And me and Justin, we just practice wellness. We practice deliberate creation, and we practice alignment to our own inner being, to who have we become as a result of life, right? As a result of contrast.
Yeah, but how do you figure out, you know, who you want to become? You know, what your purpose is, you know?
Well, that's already done for you. Right. You know what I'm saying? You've already clarified with many different moments. Many times.
Inherent, you know, what everybody else, you know, what everybody wants, like their purpose, like what they're supposed to be doing, like the path that where they should be, you know, when they're completely in alignment, you know, just like a tiger, you know, it has one fucking purpose.
Well, the thing is, since we're infinite, there really is never full alignment, because you're always getting into more alignment to what you just asked for. Right. So that question's actually one of the better questions, because it's really not about the answer, it's about which mode you're in. So the answer and the problem are actually two different frequencies. So in order to get your answer, we'd have to tune to the frequency of your inner being, who, believe it or not, already knows the answer and already is guiding you towards it. So I feel like the answer would be that everyone is different in their own way, and, you know, inherently being called to what they want. You know what I mean? Based on what they've chosen in life. Which is why we have so much contrast in this reality. So we're good at step 4. You know, today I've been all day in alignment, and it feels great, you know, pretty much. There's been a couple wobbles, you know what I mean? But in general, we've had a really enlightening day. We've had fun. We've learned a lot. We've got a lot of things done together, and there's a lot more to do. And step 5 really is the most important step. It's to not judge yourself for where you're at. You know what I mean? And it's never about where you're at right now. We didn't come to reality to look at what is. We actually came into reality to decide how we would rather live. And what emotion am I going to carry regardless of my conditions? You know what I mean? Like, how am I going to feel regardless of what's going on around me? And that, for me, the answer is clarity. You know what I mean? Abundance, fun, love, joy, happiness. You know what I mean? And
I think part of that is just knowing exactly where you're going, what you want, you know, and just falling in love with the process. Like, if you're walking around in the desert, you don't know where the fuck you're going. You're gonna have fun? No, fuck no.
Yeah.
But if you're
and the cool thing is, your inner being not only knows what you want in terms of like little things, you know, like, hey, I want a sandwich. Like, oh, you know where the best sandwich place is, you know, that you want personally, and you're getting called to that. But your source, your inner being, knows even the big things. I'm talking the huge fortune that is waiting for you, the huge community of people who are open to your answers, open to your teachings. You know what I mean? That is all coming. The universe literally, by law, yields itself to give to you what you ask for. And you've put it there your whole life, and your inner being knows what you want. So that's all done, really. You got to get in number 3. Step 3 is important, right? Contrast, you know, receiving mode, getting into the receiving mode of what you want, of what you'd rather be having. You know what I mean? And it really is our own thoughts that create our own life. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, what we choose to think ends up being our vibrational reality. You know, the sum total of it all ends up being our own vibrational escrow. So what we have to do as deliberate creators is really be very, very picky with what thoughts we choose to think. Okay, not have knee-jerk reactions, not react as a default, but to insist to create and insist to have an unconditional happiness, because that is what's going to get us everything. And of course, step 5, after you've maintained it for a while, you're going to learn that you're gonna trip yourself up a little bit. You're gonna start to doubt yourself and beat yourself up because you're not maintaining it, as much as you're wanting to. But step 5 really is about mastering letting go and not judging yourself for where you are at. You know what I mean? Nothing has to happen at all at once. And in fact, just like at a buffet or something, like you don't want to eat all the food right away. You know what I mean? You want to have a little bit of knowledge here and a little bit of enlightenment from this experience. You know what I mean? And maybe this experience here helped you to find something even greater, So step 5 is not beating yourself up. Step 5 is having fun in the step 1 moment, which is, hey, we're back into contrast. We're seeing differences, right? And we're creating our own preference. And we're adding on to our vibrational escrow and to how we feeling. So now that we know we create our own thought, what do you want to talk about, Justin? Now that we know all we have to do is feel good, what's the best feeling thought you can think of right now?
The best feeling thought is I'm alive. But I think like the most is of course that that I'm alive. But I think the most important thing
on the leading edge too
is being on the leading edge in that moment, enjoying the process. And it's not about like the end result, the end goal. Like, oh, I want to create my own business. I want $1 million. It's not about getting that $1 million. It's about the process, the journey. Waking up every single day,
exactly,
having a fucking purpose.
Exactly. Having that journey lead you to the destination is actually the destination, believe it or not. Like, we always think we want more than just to have fun, but it's never the case. We want to have fun in the creation process. We don't want what we think we want. You know what I mean? What we want is relief. What we want is to have fun. What we want is to come up to girls and people and introduce ourselves and have fun and make videos and do things that empower us, regardless of what other people think, in a good way, in a positive way, in a way of, I know that I don't control you, you know what I mean? You don't control me. We don't control other people's emotions. But as we're here in contrast, asking for more, we practice step 3, which is receiving it, being in that mode and staying in that mode for longer, which is what step 4 is. And of course, step 5, being comfortable with going back to step 1. Nothing wrong with looping it back, nothing wrong with having more desire. You can always have more fun. Every single moment can be more.
Exactly. Just thinking about one of the most beautiful inventions ever, the internet. You can't. It's not perfected. You're gonna run through problems. You're gonna run through errors. You're gonna have issues. Mm-hmm. But it's gonna ever evolve.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's gonna constantly expand as thought expands. We're on the leading edge of thought, and you, watching right now, are at the leading edge, creating your life how you want to, based on the thoughts you choose to think. But there's a little secret. The thoughts you're receiving are based off of your vibration. So all you have to focus on is your frequency, what frequency you're emitting, and that ends up being your own vibrational escrow. And honestly, couldn't be more of a fun day. Any last words here, Justin Land?
Have a blessed day. Thank you guys.
How good of a day have you had?
Pretty good day.
Pretty good day. We're gonna do some jujitsu. We're gonna have a little bit of fun. Here? Good right here. So we're gonna have a little bit of fun. And tomorrow we're gonna actually tune into a sort of like a little talk show we're gonna have back at our house. So we're gonna set up a little station. We're gonna have a couple people come join us tomorrow. My friend Troy, my friend Connor, and we're just going to talk about deliberate creation. You know what I mean? There's nothing more fun. There's nothing I'd rather be talking about than everything I've been ever wanting unfolding here for me. And with that, I think that's the perfect time for a little refreshment here. So we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in.
Peace.
Peace.